everyone. Very good morning and good evening. We will start the session. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let's come to this. Okay, guys. Sorry. In last session, what we have done, we saw that how to load the data to Snowflake tables by using user interface option, right? So once we logged into our Snowflake account, so we have used user interface option to load the data to the specific tables, right? So let me log in into our account. So this is the account which we have used, right? So when you logged into our account, by default it will give us, this is the recent worksheet which, so we have worked. Let me open the worksheet. What we have done in the previous session, first we created a database. Once we created a database, within this schema we created this table. We wanted to load the data into this table by using load table option, load the data option, right? By using this load data option, we have loaded the data to this particular Snowflake table, right? We have used CSV file and then so Excel with CSV extension. These are the files what we have loaded. So when we loaded with the help of load data option, what is the restriction here? We cannot able to load more than 200 MB file. That is the restriction because this user interface will not allow. Then if you wanted to process more than the 200 MB file, then what is the approach? What is the other way to load the data to this particular table? Instead of this load table option, what is the other way we have? So in this particular situation, we have copy command implementation. With the help of that, we can able to load. This copy command, what it is going to do is, it is going to copy the data from the stage area. The file which you are going to load, that particular file, first we have to keep it into the stage first. That is the first step. Once you keep the file to the stage, after that we can able to copy the data from stage to the table. That is the other way. First file to the stage, then stage to the table. This is the process. So when you are implementing this copy command implementation, now our requirement is we need to keep the file, whatever the file we wanted to load, that particular file we have to keep it into the stage area. So that is the first step what we need to do. Now in this particular session, what we are going to do is, let's say we have some of the files here. If you come to this is the folder. We have some of the files here. These particular specific files, we wanted to any one file or all the files, we wanted to load it into our Snowflake table. Then we should have a table structure here. At the same time, whatever the file we are trying to load, these particular files, we need to keep that into the stage area. If you have the files in the stage area, then only you can copy the data from file stages to the table. Without having the files in the stage, without the stage, you cannot able to load the data to the table. Remember this one. Now when it is coming to the stages, right, we have different type of stages here, like user stage, user stage, table stage, and then named stage. Different situations we will use different stages. But when it is coming to this particular session, what we are going to do is we are going to see about user stage. These particular stages, right? So here user stage, table stage. By default, it will be created. We no need to create it. User stage represented with at the rate tilt symbol. Table stage, it is going to represent with at the rate percentage table name. Named stage, it is with at the rate stage name. Now here we are going to see about the user stage. User stage means here any confidential files when you are processing, we will use user stage. User stage, every user will have stage. It means, for example, let's assume we are all working in one particular project. Every person is a user. When you try to log into your Snowflake account in an organization, let's assume this is the URL for everyone. When you log into this particular URL, every person will have their own username and then passwords, right? Every person is a user. For example, you have a Gmail account. How you will log into the Gmail? Gmail.com, you will go to the browser. Everyone will go to the gmail.com only, and every user will have the separate username and then passwords, right? The same way here also, you will have a account, multiple users, like multiple persons may be working on that particular project. Every person, developer will have a user name password, other developer will have other username and then password, right? Every person will have a username and then password. Here, user stage, every user will have a stage area. This user stage you no need to create. By default, when you created a user stage will be created. It is represented with at the rate tilt symbol. At the rate tilt symbol. It will have user level restriction. User level restriction. User stage will have user level restriction. It means, for example, when I logged into my Gmail account, I can keep my files in my Google Drive. Where I am keeping the files in the Gmail itself, right? Gmail account only, or Google Drive. I mean, like related to the particular Gmail, I will have some space. I will keep the files there. But when you log into your Gmail, you cannot able to see my files because that is a user level restriction. With my user, when I logged into the Gmail, I can see only my files, my data only, not the other users' data, right? The same way, here we will have a user level restriction. When it is coming to the user stage, this is related to user level restriction. If you want to process any files related to user level restriction, let's say any confidential files you are processing, in those situations, we will use this user stage area. Clear? Now let's come to this. When we are loading the data to the by using user stage, what is the first step? First, the file we need to keep it into the user stage area. Now here, when we logged into this particular account, I logged in with Snowflake 8 user. Snowflake 8 is the user. If I wanted to see the user stage, list at the rate tilt symbol. I can use list at the rate tilt symbol. This is the user stage. It represents user stage. Every person will have a user stage. Now observe this one, name and then size, MD5, last modifier. These are the default columns it is available in the stage area. But we don't have any files here. We don't have any files here, but stage is available, right? Now, to load the data to the specific table, we are going to keep the file in this user stage. If you want to keep the file here, what you need to do is we have to use put command to upload the file into the stage area. Remember, to upload file, we are going to use we are going to use put command. To download the file, we are going to use get command. We will see that where we can able to implement this. But remember, uploading a file, put, downloading a file, get. Now, when we are using this put and get commands, observe this, what you have to do is First, we have to keep that particular file into the stage area. To do that, see this. First, this is the put command. We will implement it. Before that, we wanted to load the data to the table, right? So we should have a table structure. See this. First, we need to create a table structure. Then we will load the file to the stage area. Then after that, we will use copy command to load the data from the table. This is the process. If you are going with named stage, if you are going with the table stage, if you are going with user stage, the same process, only the change will be in the stage area. There will be a syntax change. That's it. Remaining everything, the process of loading the data will be the same process what we are going to do now today. The same thing we are going to do every time. Now, what is the first step? We need to load the data to the table. So we should have a table structure. Now I am creating a other table because every time when we are using different stages, so that I am creating different table names, emp underscore user, so that we can understand, okay, this particular I have used this for the user stage. This table is created for the user stage. Already this worksheet connected to class database public schema. Observe this one, class database public schema. So no need to specify again if it is already connected. Clear? If it is not connected to this particular schema, particular database, then only we have to mention fully qualified name. Otherwise, just we can mention the table name. That is more than enough. Now let it, if you have this or if you don't have this, it doesn't matter here because already we connected to this. Now let's create a table structure. Now the table structure is created. Now the table is available here. Table is available, right? See this, the table is available. Now we wanted to load the data to this table. To load the data to the table, first what we have to do, we have to keep the file to the stage area. What is the stage area? We are going to work here. That is user stage. This is the user stage where our file is available. Our file is available here in this particular location. In my system, I kept the file in this particular location. This is the path of the file. If you want to pick the file path, what you can do is you can pick it from here directly. Another way is select the file, hold your shift button, click on right click, then you will get copy as a path. See this one, copy as a path. Then you will get the path. This is the path of the file where our file is available. In this particular location, this file is available. Now, this particular file, from this location we have to pick and we have to load it to this particular stage area in Snowflake. This is the user stage. To implement that, we need to execute put command. If I try to implement a put command here, observe what is going to be happen. See this. I'm using the put command. Let me modify this according to this stage. Let me put command here. Sorry. This is the path where our file is available. This particular path, no need of double quotes. Let me copy only the path. That is the path where the file is available. And here, observe this. This particular file, pick from this path and then keep the file into this stage area. What is the stage area we mentioned? At the rate tilt symbol. This refers to our user stage area. Now, if you observe previously, list at the rate tilt symbol, can we able to see any file here? See this, we don't have any file here. Now, we want to keep the file into this particular stage. Why we want to keep the file? If you don't keep the file in the stage, you cannot able to load the data to the table. Our final target is we want to load the data to the table. For that, we have to use a put command. There is no other option. Now, when we are using this put command, see this. This is one of your certification question and interview question also. Observe this. What is the error we are going to get? What is the error we received here? Unsupported future. right? Remember this, put command, get command is not going to work in user interface. Put command and put and get will not work in user interface. Remember this. It will not be supported. Snowflake will not support in only in user interface. But when it is not supporting put and get commands in user interface, then how can I upload the file into the stage area? By using the put command only we have to apply. How can I download? By using the get command. Those commands will not work here. To implement these things, what you need to do is we have to connect it to CLI, command line interface. We have to work with command line interface. When you wanted to connect it to the command line interface, that we will call it as, see, whatever we are going to do it here, we will call it as a SQL, or we will call it as a Snow SQL or Snow SQL. Don't get confused. That is nothing but what you are writing here, that is completely SQL only. This is nothing but when you are writing in Snowflake, we will call it as a Snow SQL. So when you are connecting to command line interface, we will call it as a Snow CLI. Snow CLI. Why we need to connect it to command line interface? Here what we are seeing is user interface options. In command line interface, you don't have a shortcuts, you don't have all this like the tabs, all these navigations will not be available. Everything you need to write it in commands. Now let me connect to like command line interface. This is the command line interface, CLI. Through this, we want to connect it to Snowflake. If you want to connect to Snowflake by using this command line interface, first thing what you need to do is we have to install CLI. We have to install Snow CLI. So what we have to do is, if you wanted to install Snow CLI, see this here. If you scroll down here, you can able to see CLI client download. See this one, client download. Click on this one. When you click on this, you can able to see the download. See this one, Snow CLI download. Click on this one and you can able to see, instead of this directly you will get, let me show you, no need to go here. I will go with Snow CLI. That link is sometime it is not working. Just a minute. It seems it has been changed. One second. Sometimes it is not working. Download for Windows. Okay, fine. So now observe this one, SnowSQL. This link I will give it here in the chat window. You can use this link when you are downloading this. This is the link. I will keep this link here also. SnowSQL download. This is the link. So for the SnowSQL, the same link I kept it here in our chat window also. You can use it. Now here, if you observe, see this one, SnowSQL. See this, SnowSQL for Windows, right? What you need to do is just you need to click SnowSQL for Windows. That's it. When you click on this, it will not take much time. It has been downloaded. When it is downloaded, just click on this. When you click on this, it will be installed immediately. And once it is installed, just click next and next. That's it. You no need to do any configurations. Just click on next and then install. So once it is installed, see this, just click on yes. It will be installed in your system. Once it is installed, finish. It will not take much time, not even less than like 1 or 2 minutes. It will be downloaded and then it will be installed. This NoSQL link I have given, you can use this link. Sometimes what will happen is if you are using this, the previously which we saw this, right? So if you are using that one, that link is not working properly. So it is not installing. Now these things I am talking about. Now once it is installed this, then if you wanted to cross check whether it is installed properly or not, you need to connect it to Snowflake. Once that SnowSQL is installed, then only you can able to connect it to Snowflake. What we have done, we have downloaded SnowSQL. After that, installed, right? Once it is installed, then you can connect it to our Snow CLI. Now observe this one. When you are working with this, what you need to do is if you want to connect to Snowflake, you have a command SnowSQL space -a, nothing but account space. You have to give your account details here. When you are logging in to our Snowflake account, we are using with URL and then we are using username and then password. The same way here, when you are logging into your CLI, we have to give SnowSQL space -a is nothing but account space. We have to give your account details. When you want to know the account details, see this one. This it will be available in the URL. Another way is see this. This is your account details. The best way to like identify the complete details, if you go to your home page, when you scroll down here, see this one. When you scroll down here, you can able to see here account, view account details. When you click on view account details, you can able to see account identifier. This is your account identifier. This will be used in like different situations. This is the account identifier. This is the URL when you are trying to log in, right? And then so just copy this. This is the copy symbol. This is the account identifier for us. See this one. It will be available in our, see this. This is the account identifier, the same thing, right? This account identifier we have to give here. Just copy and then paste it. Just copy and then right click. When you right click here, it will be pasted here. What is the command we are giving? SnowSQL space -a space account details. Here don't give any semicolon, just hit enter. When you hit enter, it will ask you username and then password. If your SnowSQL is installed properly, then it will ask you username and then password. In some of your systems, you will get this log error notification. You can ignore this. That is not a big deal. So you can ignore this. Some of the systems you will get it. If you get username, then it has been installed properly. Now what is the username here? Snowflake 8 is my user. I have given the username. Now enter. What is the password? Now I am typing the password of my Snowflake account. See this, I am typing, but you cannot able to see the cursor movement. When you are typing, you cannot able to see whether you are typing or not. You cannot able to see the cursor movement. Just type the password correctly. Just enter button. Use enter button. Now observe this. What happened now? It connected to Snowflake. We can able to see compute warehouse. And then it is showing no database, no schema. Here also, if you observe in this user interface also, if you observe this here, let me come to new worksheet. Here in this worksheet, you can able to see compute warehouse. You can able to see database and schema. If I try to open a new worksheet, see this is the new worksheet. Here observe this. Is it selected to any database and schema? No, right? We have to select. It is selected to warehouse, but it is not selected to any database and schema. We have to select, right? The same way here also, we need to specify which database you wanted to work, which schema you wanted to work with. For that, what you have to do is just give the command use database. By default, it will give the syntax here. Now, database name. Here we need to give the semicolon. Once you connected to Snowflake, whenever you are writing the commands, you have to give semicolon here. What you are doing? Use database name. It means we have to connect it to this particular database. See this one, database class, and then public schema. By default, it is connected. And then whatever the things we are going to do it here, everything you can able to do it in the user interface also, apart from put command and get command. Put command, get command will work only here, only to execute. 99% of the time we are going to work with our user interface only. This, the window CLI, what you are seeing now, only very less percentage of the time only we will come here, only to execute some kind of put command, get commands. Here, you don't have any shortcuts. So everything we need to write it in commands only. For example, if I wanted to see the data in the table, select star from table. We have to give the command. See this. If I want to see all the tables, show tables, then it will give all the tables which it is available. And then I wanted to see show schemas. See this. We can able to see the schemas, whatever it is available. Everything what we are going to do here, we are going to write the commands. Here, list at the rate tilt symbol. So this is related to the stage name, user stage. See this? Do you have anything here? No. The same command you can work here, same command it will work here also. But what is the reason we connected to our CLI command line interface? What is the reason here? The main intention is we wanted to execute this put command. Why we want to execute this put command? Because let me copy this put command. We want to load this particular file from this particular path to this particular stage area. By using a put command, we want to keep the file into this stage. If the file is available in this particular user stage, then only we can load the data to a table. That is the reason we are using this. We connected to CLI. Now let's give the put command here. See this? I copied it here. I clicked right click. Then now I am executing the put command here. Observe what will happen. See this? What happened? File has been uploaded. Now one more thing. If I want to execute the previous command, just I will use up arrow. See this? Up arrow. Or if I want to go for the next command, down arrow. See this? Now if I try to execute the same put command one more time, see the behavior of Snowflake. What it is telling. Once the file is available in the stage, it will not allow you to load the same file one more time. Duplicates files is restricted in stage. See this? Skipped, right? Because if you see list at the rate stage name, See this one? You can see the file. File is already available. Same file you are trying to load one more time. That's the reason it has skipped. First time what it is showing, it has been uploaded. So what we have done, one file, employee one file, we picked from this particular path, we loaded to the stage area. This which stage it is? User stage. Now observe this. If you run the same list command here also, you can able to see the file. The file is available. Both are similar. File is available. Now, what is the next step? When the file is available, we can load the data to the table by using copy command. What is a command to use? Copy command. So we will use simplified copy command. So later one by one we are going to see what all the commands we can able to use it in a copy command. Just a simple thing, we are going to copy the data from this particular stage to our Snowflake table which you have created here. Copy into table from this stage name. When you are giving that, in the previous session we have seen we have created file format. We have specified the file format, right? The same way here also we need to specify the file format when you are doing that manually. Now to pick that copy command, observe this one. First observe the only the two lines. The remaining things we will discuss later sessions. Don't get confused now. Say this, copy into table. What is the table name? emp underscore user is the table name. Copy into table. From where? From where I have to copy the data to the table? From stage name. What this stage contains? This list at the rate stage. This contains this particular file. It means the file which it is available in the stage. Pick the file from here, load it into this particular table. When you are using this, ignore this, we will discuss later. See this. When we are using this, we are using file format. What is the file format previously we selected? When you are loading by using user interface option, CSV file by default. And then we are using skip header here. Why we are using skip header? The file which you are trying to load, this file is having a header. This is not a data, right? See this. First line is not a data. This is a header. That's the reason we are using skip header equal to 1. Skip header equal to 1. See this one? Skip header equal to 1. What is the file format? CSV. When your file format is comma separated, then no need to specify delimiter. Normally, by default, delimiter Snowflake will consider as a comma separate delimiter. This is also your interview question and certification question. The default Snowflake delimiter is comma separated delimiter. You no need to specify. If you don't specify any delimiter in a copy command, by default it will consider as a delimiter as a comma separated file. Clear? Now what you are trying to do, copy into the table from the stage name. What is available in the stage? The file is available in the stage. Now observe this. Whatever the data is available in this particular file, employee1.csv file. One more thing. If you observe here, file, what is the file name here? employee1.csv. What is the format here when it is loaded to the stage? .csv.zz, because the file is going to zipped and then it is going to keep it into the stage area. It will reduce the file size. That's the reason it will be in the form of .zz. It's a by default zipped. It will be zipped and then it will keep it into the stage area. Now the file is available in the stage. From that particular stage, we are loading the data to the table. Now we are specifying the file formats. Observe this, we are loading the data now. So when we are loading the data now, see this here. So we are loading the data. Observe this, what happened here? File loaded. See this, rows parsed, rows loaded. Rows parsed means that is nothing but how many rows it has been picked. Okay, how many rows it has been picked. And rows loaded means how many rows it has been loaded here. It may pick more number of rows. It may load less number of rows. Going forward, we will see. Okay, so but here, what happened? 4 rows it picked, 4 rows it has been loaded. Clear? Okay, this is how it has been done here. Now, see this. Once it is loaded, you can able to see the data here. Let me refresh it one more time. You can see EMP user. You can preview data. You can see the data. See this? Sometimes it will not update here. You can able to see the data here. Just if you move the cursor, you can able to see number of rows is 4. Sometimes you cannot able to see. Then go here. Then click on table. Go here. Go to the preview option. You can able to see the data. Other way is just you can use select star from what is the table here. Sorry. What is the table name? This is the table name. Now observe this one thing. We can able to see the data. Data is available. Now the file from here, it is loaded the file to our Snowflake table. If you see the data here also, sorry, select star from, this is the table name. See this one? We can see the data here. It has been loaded. Now observe this one. This is important. Snowflake behavior. Once the file is loaded, the file will not be removed from the stage area. See this. File we have loaded to the table. If you see list at the rate tilde symbol, still the file is available in the stage area. The benchmark here is this particular file. It will be available in this particular stage until 14 days. Remember this one. It will be available here until 14 days. After the 14 days, this file has been removed from, it's going to remove from the stage. Clear? This 14 days, it will be available. If you wanted to remove it, yes, we can remove it manually by using a remove command. As per the best practices, we will use purge statement that we are going to discuss in the coming session. But here remember, if you don't do anything, once your file is uploaded into the stage, by default it will be available for 14 days. Older 14 days files, always by default it is going to remove from the stage. Okay, now we have loaded the data, but still file is available. Now the same file from this particular stage, I wanted to load the data to that same table again one more time. I am trying to run the copy command one more time. See this one? Same command. The file still is available. Table is also available here. I am trying to load the same file one more time. Observe what happened. Copy executed with 0 files processed. This is the behavior of Snowflake. Once the file is loaded to the table, Snowflake will recognize this file has been already loaded to this particular table. If you try to load the same duplicate file one more time to the table, Snowflake will not allow you to load. It will understand based on this. See this in the file. If you see list at the rate stage, you can able to see what is the file extension name, what is the MD5 function. This will be created in the backend. Based on this metadata information in the backend, Snowflake by default it is going to understand this file already we have processed it. So it will not allow you to load the data one more time to the table. Clear? It will take care of this. Say if you run n number of times also the same command, same copy command, if I try to run here in the CLI also, observe, I'm copying this. I'm trying to run here in the CLI. Sorry. It has came 2 times. I'm trying to run the same copy command here. Observe this one. Here also what it is showing, copy executed but 0 files processed. It is not going to allow us to load the data to the table. Clear. Now what is the main intention of, like, we are loading the data to the table? We are using user stage here. Just to preserve the data here into the table, we are using user stage. With the help of user stage, we are loading the data here. Now when we are using, what are the steps we have done? First we created a table structure. Then we used put command to load the file into the stage area. Which stage we are using? User stage. When we are using put command, will it work in the CLI? No, it will not work in the user interface. It will work in CLI. User interface, it will not work. This here, it is going to work. This is nothing but CLI, command line interface. Now, once it is done, once we upload the file into the stage, we have used copy command. These are the main 3 steps what we have done. To connect it to CLI, what we have done, we installed SnowSQL. Then we have used SnowSQL -a space account details. Then we have given the username and then password. Then we connected to the database name. Then we have used put command. Once you use the put command, it will load the file into the stage area. Once the file is loaded, if you try to use the same file one more time, it will not allow. At the same time, once the file is copied from the file stage to this table, if you try to copy command by using the copy command one more time, it will not allow. So this copy command, we used to call this as a bulk loading option also. This we will call it as bulk loading. So let's say here today we saw only one file how to load. If you have multiple files in the particular stage, so next we will see that if you have multiple files, all the files I wanted to load at the same time, yes, possible. That is with the help of copy command. That's why we will call this as a bulk loading option. Now one more thing, what is the main intention of we are using the user stage here? The user stage, the main intention is it will have user level restriction. It means whatever the file I am going to keep here in this user stage here, these files cannot be visible by the other users. See this, I can able to see the file here. Let me observe list at the rate stage name. I can see the file list at the rate tilde symbol, that is nothing but a stage, user stage. We can see the file, right? Now if I with the same account to the same account, if I logged in with other user details, I cannot able to see this file. So for the practice purpose, what you are going to do is, let me quickly create a new user for the same account, and then we will try to log in with the user. To do that, I will go to admin here and I will go to user and roles. I'm creating a new user here, create user. Now I will use test is the username, and then I will give the password here. Giving the password, I given the password. I don't want it to change the password later. Let it, I have to use the login name also. I will use test, and then default role I will assign to the account admin. Warehouse I will assign to the same warehouse. Now create a user. I created a new user here. Test is my new user within the same account. So we have created another user, right? See this one, test user. Now which user we are trying to log in? Normally Snowflake 8 user. Now I am going to log out. See this one, let me log out, and then I will log in with test user here. Now test user, I will give the password here. Observe this. With the test user, I can see this one. I can see the worksheet. See this one. I can see the table, whatever the tables it is available. I can see the table data. See this one. I can see the table data. EMP user. I can see the table data. But when it is coming to stage area, see this. So let me close this one. Connected to the class database public schema. Now list at the rate tilt symbol. Now see this one. I am using list at the rate tilt. So when I use list at the rate tilt symbol, observe, this is nothing but the user stage, right? See this, what we can see, because this user is different. Snowflake 8 user is different. For example, Snowflake 8 user is my user, and then this user is your user. The test user is your user. When you logged into the same account, you can see in the project, within the project, you can see all the databases, tables and everything, but you cannot able to see the file which I kept in the user stage. This is because of any confidentiality. I wanted to keep the file safe. I don't wanted to give the access to others. So that's the reason. So I kept it in the user stage area. So like this, we can able to create user stage. Now this user stage, we cannot able to see the file. Let me log out from this particular user, test user. Let me log in into the Snowflake 8 user, which we used to log in. Snowflake 8 user. Now observe, with this user, we are trying to log in. Let me connect it to the worksheet. Now here, if I see list at the rate tilt symbol, see this one. Now we can able to see the file here, right? User stage, we have user level restriction. We cannot able to see the file. One more thing, user stage, you no need to create it. By default, whenever the user is created, user stage will be created. The same way, the table stage also. There is a different stage called named stage. So most of the time in the project, we are going to use named stage. So in the coming session, we will see about the name stage. Later, we will see about the table stage and then name stages. But here today, what we have done, we loaded only single file. So in the coming sessions, we will see how to load multiple files. When you are loading a file, if you get any error, so how to avoid that? If you want to skip error files, I want to load only the specific files, how to do that? Within a file, I have some 10 rows are valid, remaining 2 are invalid. I want to load only the valid files. What are the different options we have? For example, I wanted to load only the specific columns. Then how to do that? All these things we are going to see that in the coming sessions. So today what we have done, we saw how to load the data by using user stage to our Snowflake tables by using CLI, right? Command line interface. Here, once it is connected, if you wanted to exit, just use stuff yes and then quit. Then you will come out from the Snowflake and then just type exit. That's it. Again, if you wanted to connect, go to the command prompt, snowsql space -a, then you will give the account details, then we can give the username and then password. Clear? Now let's come to the questions. In the next session, we will see about the table stage. After that, we will see about the name stage. The process will be the same everywhere. First, we are going to create a table structure. Then we will use put command to upload the file into the stage area. To upload the put command, we will connect it to the CLI. Once the file is uploaded to the stage area, same file if you wanted to load to the table, we are going to use copy command. These are the different options we have. We are going to discuss those things. Okay, now let's come to the questions here. We'll go one by one. Can you share notes and videos link? Yeah, everything will be available in the drive, Rahul. Let me share the drive link. It is uploaded already. You can able to see on everyday basis. You can able to see all the recorded session videos and the notes. Everything it will be available here. Can we have multiple staging tables? Okay. Yes, Ram, we can able to, but when it is coming to the this stages what we have discussed, We cannot consider that as a tables. We can consider this as a stages, nothing but a temporary area. But coming to the tables, if you are talking about the tables, right, then it will belongs to the within the database. That will we can call it as a stage tables. But this stages we can call it as a stage areas. We can have, yes, you can have a user stage, you can have a table stage, you can have a named stage also. Based on the requirement we can use it. That is possible. Bulk table load yes, we can do that. The next sessions we are going to see that how to load the bulk loading option. Schema and database will be available for the user in, see, one thing Kalyani, don't get confused. Once in a account, this is our project, let's assume that we are all working, every person is a developer. Let's assume that we are all working as a developers. I am a developer, you are a developer. I created the database and then schema and then tables. When I created it, it will be with where I created this within this particular account, nothing but our project, right? Within the project, once I created my database, once I created the schema, once I created a table, it will be available for everyone in the project. It will be available for you, it will be available for other developer also. The same database, same schemas will be available. Okay, but so if you have the same account details, then you can able to see the database will be available, schema also it will be available, whatever the tables we are going to have, it will be also available for us. Can we view data in a stage area? We can just see the files, but if you wanted to view the data from the stage area, that you can able to do it from the external stage. That is possible by using external stage, not the internal stages. You cannot see the data from the internal stages. That is not possible.
Can you explain the context of the stage? Please.
Sorry, Ankit, if you are speaking something, your voice is.
Yeah, I was saying like, sorry. Can you tell me something about the stage? So, if at all I read the file, like this is like in the state.
Sorry, Ankit, couldn't able to hear you properly. It's
Is it better now?
little better.
Little better. Yeah.
Some echo
I was
is
saying, I
coming.
was asking the difference between the internal stage and external stage, like how
Okay,
to
got it. Got it. So we will see that when it is coming to the external stage, right? When you are dealing with the cloud locations, when we are picking the data from the AWS platform, Azure, GCP platform, then we will call it as external stages. When you are dealing with the local files, whatever it is available in, so for example, here in my system, that is nothing but the internal stage. Loading pattern mechanism where we will implement this initial and incremental load mechanism. Yeah, initial and then so whatever we are loading here, Arun, that is nothing but a bulk loading option. So everything it will be loaded, all the data it will be loaded. That is bulk loading. When it is coming to the incremental loading mechanism, we can use streams option, and then we can use dynamic tables option. These are the different approaches. So we will discuss that in the coming sessions. So with those approaches, we can able to load incremental data loading option. Yeah. Whatever we have done today, that is nothing but the initial load, or we can say that as a full load. When we are using user interface, load the data to UI user interface, create a temporary stage. Can we create a temporary stage manually using CLI? Yes, Sayed, we can able to create this the stage. So stay area, that is nothing but we can able to create named stage. By default, when you create a user stage will be available. By default, when you create a table stage also it will be available. Along with that, right? We can even create a stage, that is nothing but a named stage. Manually, we can able to create it for our own purpose. So that is nothing but a user defined stage, or we can call it as a named stage. So for that, there is no restrictions. Okay, most of the time we will use named stage only. In the next session, we will discuss about it. Yes, we can able to do that, Ankit. That is possible. So multiple commands we can able to use that in a single SQL file or single procedure. We can able to do that when we are working with the tasks. When we are working with the implementation of procedures, we will see that how to run the multiple commands. Yeah, any questions? Can we? Yeah,
So,
so
one
while
question. I don't know if I'm audible now. I changed
yeah,
my
go on. You
headphones.
are audible now. Yeah,
Yeah. So, I saw in the path we had like four forward slashes that I think by default it got copied when you copied from
three
the.
forward slashes. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Are those like escape characters or just like the Windows has its way of?
That is related to Windows because of the Windows. It is having the three forward slashes. Yeah. Some
Okay.
Windows applications it will allow only two forward slashes. You can try with that also. Yeah.
Okay.
It
And
depends
when
on which
we
Windows we are using. Yeah.
got it, thank you. So when we are working on a project, right? So there are always file servers which are mounted, right? So
Hmm.
I believe
Correct.
the path will these path be referring to
Hmm.
our local system or to the file server where
Mm,
we have to place the file?
Generally, so this is for our example we have implemented here, but in
Okay.
the actual project, right, we are going to like get the files into any of the server or any of the cloud locations. Let's say
Okay.
your organization is using AWS S3 locations. We will receive the files to the AWS S3. From there, we have to pick it, right? So it
Okay.
will be like that in the project. We will see that when we are working with the AWS integration.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. In the copy command, can we use patterns or only full file name? Yes, we can able to use the patterns, Kalyani. That is possible. So with the file name, so for example, if you wanted to use specific files, this I kept it, I parked it for the next sessions. Because of that, we didn't discuss it. Pattern command, we are going to give it here, right? In this pattern command, so we are going to give the file names like this. Or if it is starting with employee, after that you can give star here. Then it will pick everything, whatever it is starting with employee. So with that, we can able to give the pattern commands within this copy command so that it will pick only the specific file. If you wanted to restrict only the files in the multiple files, then we can use pattern command. Yes, that is possible. Same file you can able to load it to multiple tables. You can do that. Yes, that is, there is no restriction in that. The table structure should be the same, then only we can do that. It is a zip file extension. So by default, when the Snowflake is loaded to our stage areas, it is going to, in the backend, it is going to zip the file and then it is going to load it. So that's why you can able to see .gz extension. It is a by default compression. It will compress the file, then it will load to the stage area. Because whenever you are keeping anything in the Snowflake, it is chargeable, right? That's the reason it like zip the file and then it has been loaded.
And it happens always, is it?
Yes, always it happens.
Okay.
Any questions? Just a minute, I can see the questions. Is there any files? No, Mohan, there is no file size limitation, but as per the best practices, right? So what we are going to do is we will limit the file size to less than 1 GB file or less than like a 500 MB file, because the reason is there. I will tell you. So when you are using, okay, computation charges, right? For example, if you observe this is the computation, you can able to see extra small here based on this computation. So if it is lesser file size, you can use less t-shirt size. Based on the t-shirt size, your Snowflake computation is going to charge. If your file size is very big, huge, then you need to increase your t-shirt size. When you increase the t-shirt size, obviously servers in the backend, it will be assigned more number of servers. When it assign more number of servers, what will happen is it is going to charge more. That's the reason, as per the best practices, always we will keep the lesser file sizes. Guys, if you are like unable to follow the some of the advanced questions, don't worry about that. Those things we are going to see that in the coming sessions. Yeah, all the recordings which I have shared in the drive, right? It is available, Abdul. You can check. The one session. This before this we have one session. Before that, one demo session is there. That's it. Yeah, you can able to follow that. Yes, always we can change the compute warehouse. That's it. It's up to us. We can utilize it. For example, here by default it is compute warehouse, right? In the CLI also we have used use database we have used, right? The same way, use warehouse. When you use warehouse, then it will talk about the warehouse, which warehouse we wanted to use. Here we can see only one now at this moment. Going forward, we will create multiple computation sizes here, like extra small, small, medium, like that we will create it. Which particular virtual warehouse you have to use for which particular requirement. For example, data loading activity, you need more computation size. Then you can increase your virtual warehouse t-shirt sizes. Then it will be very faster. Based on your requirement, you can use the sizes. Any other questions? Okay. So please practice, guys, whatever we have discussed. So if you practice, you will get more number of doubts. When you are getting any doubts during the practice session, please note it down and then we can discuss in the coming session also. Okay. Okay, yes. If you don't have any questions, we will wind up for today. See you tomorrow. Thank you all.